Wow, you did. You did.
I did. It's
You
like a
flipped
little
the hand.
black hand side flip. Yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yo, we just had a mini before the show. We chop it up.
Yeah.
Especially if we didn't do the show the last couple weeks. We haven't spoken to each other normally, or we will catch up. So we had like a mini production meeting, and one of the things y'all don't understand is like how getting the topics together is actually the most difficult part of the show. Now, I was doing that for quite a while. Kev did it before. And when Kev asked if, hey, you want me to take that over? He asked me this a couple months ago. I handed that joint off like a bomb to Wile E. Coyote. I was like, yeah, go ahead. You do it. You know what I mean?
Couple months.
Yo.
I've been getting taken advantage of, ladies and gentlemen.
You don't understand the work that goes into that. That's the
It's
only
like,
work
it's like
on the
homework,
show.
dude.
It is. It really is.
You have no idea when it's like the weekend and I'm thinking, oh, I got everything that I need to do done. Oh, rundown.
Damn rundown, yo. And Kev has quit this rundown dramatically, by the way. This man put a book in as the first time. He don't even at least I would edit the articles for readability, yo. Like the rundown today. That dude put the newspaper in this joint. I was like, God, dog, wait a minute.
It steadily got more and more extensive. I just wanted to see. There was a period where I was, if you guys notice, you go back a few episodes, you'll notice there's a period where I would just be able to, like, I'm sitting here doing my taxes, my 1040 for the tax years 2019 through 2021 while Shrek is reading that first topic.
Dude.
I wanted to see how long you would let this go.
Oh, last time we did the show, I tried to curve it, but yeah,
The content is too compelling.
It is. It is. Yo, Kevin, man, how you been, man? How was you? So I stopped watching tennis when the brother lost. Even though the I guess the even further thing was that a young man, right, the first 19-year-old, etc. So
brown
I stopped
brother
watching. All right, fair enough. I'm not gonna do that. Like, right? We have so many listeners. I'm not. Don't put me in that position.
We're everywhere. They're everywhere.
But I mean, what you give us the rundown? I mean, normally I give the sports, so I'm sure you watched.
I did, and interestingly, I missed all except for Serena. And then the finals, I missed pretty much every single match I wanted to see. Like I missed when Tiafoe beat Nadal, which I think was might have been the best match of the tournament, arguably, from what I could tell. But yeah, he'll be back. But yeah, sure. that kid Alcaraz that won, he's just crazy dope.
Man, his match with Tiafoe was crazy.
Yeah,
yeah. He was hitting like through the legs shots. Like I'm like, okay, y'all have to.
But you have to.
That's
understand,
why they don't let y'all in.
You have to understand something about athleticism, though. Trek is that last week it was too hot to watch tennis.
Bruh.
I laugh at people who will consciously turn off lights because they say that it cools the room down.
Oh, me. So you laugh at me.
I would absolutely laugh at you and clown you mercilessly. But I'm walking around the house. There's night lights. I'm unplugging. I was just like, I was like the character. You probably don't watch Better Call Saul, right?
No.
So the main character's brother has this psychological. Well, I don't know if it's psychological, but he's affected by anything electrical. So he has a sort of a physical reaction to anything electrical, and I don't know if they ever really explain whether it's an actual thing that affects other people, a lot of people. But anyway, he doesn't have any lights on in his house, So that's basically what I turned into him last week.
First of all, they do make everything hot. Second of all,
That's a lie.
it's fact. And for lights radiate, like it's you know what I'm saying. There's heat. I don't know, whatever, right? It just feels hotter when all the lights are on. Like it does. I don't know whether it's true or not. But I turned into my father. Turn the lights off. Why everybody got all the lights on? And I'm like, I'm reading a book, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, so, and I also have a thing against useless lights.
Well, that's a dad thing.
It's like, yeah. Right, I've turned it. I am that. For anyone listening to the show, I am that guy. That
will you walk past will you walk past your children's room all the way out to wherever they are on the other side of the house and ask them why their light's still on? That's what I do, and I make her get up from whatever she's doing, walk back to her room, because that's how a father teaches his child not to do that anymore. Right?
Well, here's what's even funnier about that. The trail of lights to wherever they are is the most entertaining part, right? Like, if you want to find them, just follow the lights all the way to wherever. Like, all right. And then they walk out and do not turn any of them off. It's like, okay, well, you did it going here. Do it come back. Oh, but yo, didn't we talk about how Summer is stupid?
Oh yeah.
And then Summer was like, "Oh, you want to talk? You got something to say?"
You did okay. This.
I did. I think I brought this on myself, talking so bad. But still, I don't care. Whatever. Summer can suck it. Like, that's dumb. Like, that he was stupid. I've been raging about Summer for 3 weeks now. The last 3 weeks, as we trail off to Summer. Somebody said this today. Picking up my little one, and one of the other parents, whatever, was like, "Well, you know, man, hopefully it cools off. We in fall now." I'm like, "Man, we don't get no fall out here, man. This is hot until it's not hot no more for like 3 weeks, maybe a month, and then it's hot again. And then it'll rain like, we wilding out now, right? All right, it's January, 96 degrees. What? Who won it? Right?
Oh, yeah.
We let you have Christmas. Now you can go ahead and I don't even know what season it is anymore. I just know it's spring. At the very least, I see flowers for like, I don't know, 17
5
days.
minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I walked out several times last week. I walked outside. I opened the door and I just said, "Ugh, yuck."
And then they had the nerve to just now it just feels like Texas in this joint. And my neighbor is going to laugh at me. My neighbor, shout out to my neighbor Julio, always for all days. That's the homie. He's going to laugh because I was saying that all weekend. Like, but y'all don't understand. Like, that's what this feels like. For it to rain and then throw 600-degree weather on top of it. Like, okay, so now we just in the Gulf in this joint for no reason.
It's just steam.
Steam, yo. My house would not cool down either. It's like... It's like the annoying. My house is the annoying friend that just will not chill. Like, come on, man, we all having a good time, right? Like, just chill. Man. You know what I mean? And my house was like, nah, nah, I can't let it slide. I'm like,
oh man.
So yeah, that's the weather report.
Exactly. And that's a big reason why we skipped last week too. It was Labor Day, but at the same time, it was hot.
It was hot. We didn't record it. That's why we didn't record. That's why I didn't record the Mr. Sugar and Track Life show. I was not going to sit here.
You skip.
I skipped it. I was like, I didn't want to be at work.
I didn't want to do my homework coming up with the topics.
And that heat, all you had to type was "is hot." We would have done the show for 14 seconds. All right, then, y'all. It's hot. Catch y'all next week. All right, man. Let's go on and get to the other side, man. You ready, Kev?
Yep.
All right, let's go.
Rap Sucks Radio. Blah, 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 blah.
What up, y'all? You are live on Rap Sucks Radio with your homeboy Trek Life and your fam, Kev Sakota.
Your Rap Sucks Radio, Jermaine Jackson.
That's funny. That's like what show did the Jeffersons come from? All in the Family, right?
Yeah.
So that's like a, you know what I'm saying, a cross collaborative episode type thing.
Oh yeah. It's all in the family.
All in the family, right? Thank y'all for tuning in, man. We appreciate each and every one of y'all. If you'd like to catch past episodes of our show, you can go to rapsucksradio.com or any of your favorite podcasting platforms. And if you would like to catch us on your television, you can go to BTSN, that's Behind the Scenes Network. What you do is you download the app or channel on any of your Roku or Amazon Fire devices. Click on that app or channel, and we are right there with plenty of other dope content. BTSN, Behind the Scenes Network. We want in. And also, please follow us on Instagram at RapSucksRadio and on Facebook, facebook.com/RSR podcast. All right. Yo, it's 77 degrees outside, and I guarantee you it's 10 degrees hotter in my house. Like, there's no breeze, man. Like, no.
You need to get a cup of iced tea or something. A glass of lemonade. If I just lean over and fall out, you know why. Here's what's funny though. I mean, and this is just the inevitability, right? In about, I don't know, 2 more months, I'm gonna be like, yo, Kev, it's too damn cold in this house. It's just going. You know, 3 hoodies on.
Yeah, I'm gonna be on the show like bundled up. You know what I mean? Oh man. All right, dude. I don't know what you was on. You just copy and pasted this entire art. Like, this is crazy. But let's do this. I mean, I don't even know really if there's anything worth reading here, but I mean, not worth reading, but people will get the gist of the topic from the very second.
There isn't. But the writer of this. Okay, first of all, we should also acknowledge that you're good about giving the sources, but when Trek says source, basically what it is we are just stealing information from these publications,
copying and pasting,
and then discussing them. But a lot of what Trek reads, he's reading directly from the article. If 99.9%.
Straight from the article.
Yeah. And this
we're not editorializing anything, period.
Yeah, this writer was verbose, to say the least.
Oh my God. It was a thing, right?
Yeah, like small font kind of person.
Yeah, this is double. This was double-sided.
But I'm reading it, I was like, oh, this is good writing. I'm enjoying this. So you will too.
Yeah, it's not happening. I'm going to get y'all through the first paragraph, and then we're going to talk about this. Episode title is Throughout Queens, God Bless Your Life. Topic number 1 is Dead Lady Humor. So the reason for this is many people are not exactly distraught over Queen Elizabeth's death. The source we sourced here, the Kev source is Slate.com. Players involved are Queen Elizabeth II, who recently passed, and everyone else. Pretty much everyone else. So here we go. As the United Kingdom plunged into sorrow, both on the ground and online, upon the death of Queen Elizabeth II, the diaspora of the British Empire's current and former colonies react, a bit differently, right? So you have a couple comments here, right? I mean, Kev even put the pictures in this joint. I
did work.
So you had...
It's like a term. This is a term paper.
Oh, this was. One person on Twitter said, "Give us the diamonds back, and I'll pretend to be sad." There were a lot of pictures. So the article goes on to say, you likely noticed the stark disparity in some regard if you're an internet user with connections to netizens who have origins in formerly colonized nations. Places like Ireland, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Barbados, Zambia, and far too many others to list. Maybe after a bunch of earnest messages from politicians and celebrities, you found a lengthy thread pointing to all the war criminals the Queen honored during her lifetime, Or you learned about one of the many imperial atrocities she never apologized for. Or you realized the staggering amount of wealth that Britain ripped from various countries over the course of centuries with little to no reparations paid in turn. Perhaps most painfully, you saw the video of a revolutionary inviting the Queen to comfort the harms Kenyans faced when fighting for their country's freedom from the crown. Or you saw plainly of the invocations of the iconic R.I.P. Bozo meme. Good grief. So the vibe of such tweets shifted dramatically over the course of the day. At first, when the news arrived of the Queen's quote-unquote medical care, simple and snarky tweets abounded, anticipating the official announcement and ensuing fallout. Those upset at the prospect of losing their Queen began Thursday directing their ire towards Americans mocking British grief. But then the bereaved moved on to targeting the much more widespread colonial diaspora. So I'm not doing this. It's like, I'm just not, I've stopped here. Okay. Here's the gist of the 17,000 page article, which was well written, by the way.
Small font.
Queen Elizabeth II has passed. And as with polarizing figures, and I'm being very kind in my response here. There are two sides to this, right? So here's what I did, Kevin. I'll pass it to you.
Mm-hmm.
News of her passing hit my news, my little news feed thing on my phone.
Mm-hmm. I think I know exactly what I'm about to see or hear.
And I also saw that, football season was starting. And I gave it a shot. I wasn't going to be judgmental without allowing, you know what I'm saying? Like, I thought it'd be unfair. I flipped on my social media. Like, I'm just scroll through and see what's happening, right? Like, what's up with the homies, man? What's been going on, man? Has anybody been doing anything? What's been popping? I haven't been able to check in as much. Been busy with work. What's good? You know what I mean? And, like, the first 7 posts was some form of either F Queen Elizabeth. I'm not saying they wrong in their feelings. Just telling you what I saw. Or why y'all hate her so much from that person's perspective. I'm not saying they wrong in their feelings. I'm just telling you what they said. And by number 7 of people basically going online, breakdancing and performing for their audience, I was like, I'm out. I was like, y'all need 2 weeks. I need 2 weeks off. I'm done. Listen, for me, I understand both sides of this. I only empathize with one.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think most people who've listened to this show know which side I empathize with. Right. However, I'm not. This is just me. Like, yeah, I could call me what you want. Whatever. Throw a party. I'm gonna be fine. My house is hot anyway, so just be mad. But I just don't pretend to. I don't really like to perform when people die. I don't. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, that's game over. Well, she gone now, man. Like, I don't remember a lot of the people or any of the people that I saw. Not one person ever talking about Queen Elizabeth once. Now, they might have, maybe it just, your news feed is crazy, man. Like, it might have slipped by me a couple times. They've never mentioned her once, right? But when a person passes away, especially someone as polarizing or as popular as Queen Elizabeth, the whole of their life is on display. And I don't see anything wrong with discussing the whole of her life and the things that she did wrong and the wrongs and atrocities that have happened to the colonized nations that Britain, or to nations that Britain colonized, right? And the riches they stole and her inaction or lack of apology, right? A lot of people in this position have apologized over the years. She lived a long number of years and didn't apologize very much for the actions of the crown. So I get it. I'm just not a person who performs in those moments. That's just not me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm passing on to you, Kev. Like I said, everybody was out there. They up rocking and getting busy. And I was like, all right, well, yeah, everybody was, you know what I mean? I'm like, all right, well, I guess we all, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it was Beach Street on my on my timeline. I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah, I logged on to say something silly, and I was like, "Oh, you guys are way ahead of me." Yeah, the goofy quota filled up quickly.
Man,
Let's see,
it was wild.
If goofballs could power a car, woo!
Yeah, yeah. You know, California was like, "Yo, don't charge your car right now because of the power grid." But if Goofy could charge a car, like we were good. We were good for this whole drought. We're fine. Don't worry about it, Callie. It's enough Goofy for us to be. But listen. I know, Kev, I said I was going to pass it on to you. I'm sorry. But
don't worry.
Please don't take my words as like me saying you shouldn't react how you feel considering all of the atrocities. Like, I'm not siding with her atrocities. All I'm saying is that's not my bag. It's not where I go. Death is final. All right, it's a wrap. That's me. You know what I'm saying? Now, I felt like if I would have typed that out online and be like, yeah, but now, so what do you wake up trying to vote for Trump? Like, it would have just been a whole, and I'm like, come on, man, like, I don't feel like it. I don't feel like I was like, I'm out, yo. I didn't even really want to talk about it on the show. I was like, all right, we can talk about it, but.
I almost got. God, I wish we remember that kid's name who was just firing on everybody in his comment section. All the 12 years old, just taking down grown-ups.
Oh,
remember that one kid?
Yeah.
God, I want to find him. He made me think of Andy Milonakis, but I know that wasn't him. But he was he was an Andy Milonakis type beat. Oh man, he did. Yeah. That's who I wanted to be when this all happened, because I had darts for everybody in my entire feed. It's like, you want to talk about the history, the global history of colonization of the British imperialists around the world? Yesterday, you were talking about Rihanna's lipstick. So what do you... Shut up. Shut up. You were talking about Rihanna's lipstick, and you were calling Lizzo some kind of name. So shut up. And then you over there who want to R.I.P. Queen Elizabeth, 2 months ago, you were talking about, or January 6th, you were talking about this is 1776. Maybe I missed something in my history class, but you're a dum-dum too. Okay? Yeah. I mean, and everybody, but everyone who was angry, yeah, you're right. I'll tell you what. If I reincarnate and become a prince and then a king before I'm old enough to drive, and I spend my whole life ruling over a oppressively imperialistic country, and I do that until I'm 96 years old, having a boring ass job like that was, she wasn't doing nothing. She's walking around. She's walking around.
Parliament, yeah.
That's fantastic.
Bruh.
If I tell you what, I don't even have to go to 96. If I can make it to cool 75 and then I just drop from boredom, I want the memes to be just as good as the memes that I saw.
Sure.
About her. Sure. If I don't have the dude who looks like, is that the dude from The Flash, or the dude who plays The Flash on TV kneeling by the grave? Throwing up the peace sign. I've seen that meme before. I have no idea where it originated. I have no idea who that is. But if I don't have that, says King Kev Sakota on the gravestone, you're not doing your job. The only person who I will really give it up for is the lady who tweeted that now you're telling me that they're going to make a man queen? This wokeism has gone far enough.
Wow.
She gets it.
Oh,
she does
get it. I was having a brief conversation with a friend, and he was talking about democracy. He was explaining like his opinions on democracy, right? And
He's American.
And yeah, American friend. So Silo, and he was like a friend, like somebody you don't know. Silo.
Silo. Is that American?
Inevitably, though, what I was trying to get across in this conversation was that look, dictatorships are easier for the people. Hear me out. Having to make decisions for the betterment of your nation is difficult, right? Like you got, some say a multitude creates discord, not discourse, not good counsel, right? So we don't call those good things dictatorships, though. We wouldn't call a person who ruled positively a dictator. You know what I'm saying? We wouldn't even consider that, right? Both kids are in the kitchen.
That's what happens. That's what happens when you turn off all the lights, Trek. Everyone trips all over everything.
Yeah, but they are trying to survive. That's what how you doing? They trying to figure it out. Like they just tiptoeing. So, but to the point, or whatever. Like you were talking about ruling from time you were a child to 96. And ruling is big in quotes here, right? She definitely wasn't ruling much of anything towards the end or for a lot of her life. But dictatorships are easier. They really are, man. That person says what to do. You either do it or you don't. Your head flies that way if you don't, or it stays on if you do.
They're definitely more
simple.
straightforward.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Like, you live over there. I don't want to live over there. Fine. You live in the ground. Like it's easier. I don't know how I know people are like, yo, Trek, what's wrong with you? You sound stupid. No, I'm telling you, it's a lot easier than a system of democracy. Democracy is hard, right? Democracy is an incredibly difficult system because all of us have an opinion. All of us are invested, right? We're all invested in the outcome. We're all invested in the pathway forward. We're adding socialist ideals into a capitalist society, but we're believing that some of this capitalism is necessary, and you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That is what I got from this, is that a lot of people just don't understand how horrible the decisions a dictatorship, a monarchy, ultimately parliament, really makes, and how what's lost in these current conversations, what's lost in this current, what I actually think it's a good thing, but the current enlightenment is the actual vice grip and destruction that happens to the people. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. People who were free, people who were growing as their own nation before you ever stepped foot in there. These are not, I don't know whether you claim whatever your belief of intelligence was. I often use Hawaii as an example because I've gotten to go there and read the history or whatever. And I have another point on this, but I'm getting long-winded. My whole thing is, you were destructive. You can't expect a positive response to that destruction. It was easy for you, those who love and admire and adore. It was easy because, like I said, dictatorships are easy, right? They're easy for you if you're on the side of the dictatorship. Like, yeah, fine. You get all the money, the gold, the riches enhance your life as a nation because you're on this side of the story. So the benefit of robbing this side goes to you, right? And then you say things negatively about the refugees of those that were robbed. Like, well, why are they living where I want to live? Right? You see what I'm saying? Because it's easy for you. And colonialism, dictatorship, in my opinion, all go hand in hand, really. because you are a dictator for the people you're colonizing. You may be a democracy in your own land, but for everybody else, you telling them what to do without any choice, right? For all those who love the Queen, that was easy for you. And I ask you to step back and recognize how difficult it is for those who are under thumb and how they might look at her or the crown in general and be like, yo, there was a time when you weren't here and we were under our own, maybe we had our own issues or whatever, but it was different than when you got here and changed everything. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I mean, I don't think I said very much in that long ass paragraph that Kev sent. But I think it's just one of those things where it's another time where people really are recognizing the effect that this individual had on everyone else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I'm not, by no means am I a student of world history to the extent that I'd prefer to sound like or fake it as, but, you know, the people who left Great Britain and came here to gentrify this country, you know, it's the same thing that has happened throughout history. Rent was too high, or some bill was too high, and you decided you wanted to try something different over in Brooklyn, you know, and you decided to go there, or you decided that you decided that Oakland was going to be your new home, so you just went out there and you kicked everybody else out, and maybe you had to kill a few people, maybe you had to drive some people out of their homes. You thought that was okay, you know. Humans, as I've said many times, regardless of what they look like or what religion they follow, are idiots. We're all clowns. Yes, a dictatorship's very easy. The only problem is that not everybody's going to agree with you. And the only reason there's such thing, I and this is just obviously, like I said, I'm an idiot, but in terms of the true meanings of some of this terminology that I will throw around, is that the reason that things like democracy exist is because there is a realization that if you try to be a dictator over everyone, somebody is going to come for your throat. And at some point, they're going to get you. And at some point, the next person who wants to be a dictator is going to realize, I can't do that. I need to give this opposing viewpoint at least the idea that they're being listened to.
Sure.
One could almost compare it in a way to other countries and other populations. You know, if you're going to say that the monarchy, the British monarchy, colonialized various countries around the world throughout history, brought them under their rule and inserted themselves oppressively on policies and language and customs and just that idea of British rule. You know, I think, you know, if you think really hard, you might be able to think of other instances with other people who have been forced to go through some of those same kind of things. Sure. You know, you can't look at, I wouldn't suggest going to history books in Florida or Texas to figure out what I'm talking about, but you might be able to think that, hey, you know, this stuff happens everywhere, and it's terrible and wrong everywhere, and that's why people turn their throats into a target. And when people when people with power get scared, they start lying and doing silly stuff, and then sillier things end up happening. You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah. So, and I say all that to say that the education of, you know, there was a time when talking about colonialism or talking about slavery, you couldn't do it at all. So God bless all these people who want to seem super educated on Twitter for 5 minutes, talking about all the things that it wasn't just her. She was a big part of it. She has a long legacy of super negative stuff that she continued on. but it goes on in a lot of
it doesn't
different
stop.
places as well, which doesn't make it right in any of those places. I tell you what, the one thing that idiot, who was our idiot, said when asked about Putin was he said, well, there's a lot of killers here too. And I was like, yeah, he's right. I was like, you're a dum-dum for saying that. It's not gonna. It's gonna get turned around into something that makes you look stupid because you're a dum-dum and you are stupid.
Yeah, well, you already are stupid. Yeah.
And it was also said as a defense of, you're saying it as though it's okay to do all these negative things, to oppress people, to treat people who, especially if they look different or believe differently, or love differently, or whatever they do differently, to treat them as less than just because you have the power to do so for now, that's okay. And that's the kind of thing that we are going to have to talk about these things more than in more than 140 character or 280 character chunks at a time once every 96 years if we actually don't like it. That's the thing. And I know that there were a lot of people who were jumping on Twitter to get their memes in. I'm all for it. I'm there for it. But if you're actually trying to like change things, you can't go back to talking about, Rihanna's underwear company the next day. She is the queen, which is, there's a connection there. But other than that,
some things are not fun or funny to me.
Yeah.
Maybe some things that are funny to me, I'll be like, man, that's dumb. Why is that funny? And I'll be like, you're right. That's dumb. It's not funny to you. What genuinely happened to those colonized nations is nothing entertaining. She lived to be 96 years old. When you think of the destruction wrought upon millions of people under the British Crown.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just...
She lived to 96, and there's people in a lot of those colonies that didn't live to 9. So...
Exactly. So again, I understand the I don't want to say outrage, but I guess the performance part for me is not really. It's a lot of performing or whatever. And Kev, I've gotten this is an off subject sort of on subject thing. I've gotten a lot of backlash from my peers about how I view things. Right. I'll give you an example. Completely off subject. So, Michael Irvin, former Dallas Cowboy, in response to the idea that Colin Kaepernick should, the Cowboys should give Colin Kaepernick a chance to play since their quarterback is now injured. Was like, man, this is Michael Irvin was like, we got to stop this Colin Kaepernick thing, right? He's been out of the league for 7 years. It's just stop already, right? Mm-hmm. Now I had a friend in a text message group, a couple friends debate back and forth on whether Michael Irvin was basically a punk ass for that, right? Mm. Now my view was actually a lot more neutral than both sides of the argument, right? Here is the reality. Michael Irvin wasn't wrong. Dude hasn't played professional football in 7 years. There's a reason for that, right? There's no reason that he shouldn't have been able to at least try out, right? Let's just keep it real. For anybody listening to this, I'm not defending. I'm done with the defense of Colin Kaepernick because you guys are too stupid to understand why it's needed to. Listen, he had at least 3 years of a backup quarterback contract coming. That's just how it is, right? Or another 1 year as a starting quarterback somewhere making a legitimate amount of money. Much more than he settled for, I guarantee you. So let's just cut that off, right? But he settled. Trust me, whatever he settled for was nothing like the amount of money he would have made at least the following year had he not knelt and what you guys consider cause controversy, right? What I would say spoke the truth. But here's where Shrek gets in trouble. Michael Irvin wasn't wrong, right? But he wasn't right either. And this is what I'm trying to tell y'all. y'all don't recognize how evil and ugly and disgusting colonizers and oppressors are. So you don't choose your words carefully when you're out there up rocking and performing on the internet, right? You attack each other, right? You'll talk down about your own people because you got the jammers on, right? So one of your friends says, "Rest in peace to Queen Elizabeth" or whatever. Not entirely, maybe just feeling something about death. Death affects people, and we've had that conversation on this show a lot, right? How death just kind of is a wash over some people, like, whoa, and it should be. It's final, right? And you flip your collar up and put your electric boogaloo clothes on, and you get to jamming about your skin folk. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, I don't do that because I know who's watching and who's going to use that. You know what I mean? And that's what I explained about Michael Irvin. Yeah, but you got to watch it because now that's going to be used. Oh, see, a black dude said it. See, black people don't like him either. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? And you're like, but I didn't say that. I don't want to be careful. No, you just got to be mindful. You know what I'm saying? Now, a lot of people don't agree with me, Kev. A lot of people are like, man, it's freedom and whatever. And I'm like, but you don't understand that these freedoms are short-lived, and every dart you throw could be a boomerang in a lot of instances. Maybe it's not, right? Yeah. But that's sort of where I'm at with it. You know what I'm saying? People beefing online about Queen Elizabeth II. Like, y'all arguing? You know how stupid y'all look? You know what I'm saying? Both of y'all look dumb. And you look dumb for taking it any further than, no, I don't really mess with her like that. Mm-hmm. These are the reasons why. All right, well.
And that's the issue with social media. You know, one of the many issues is that you look for that one person who's saying the thing you agree with, especially if they look a certain way or they're perceived in a certain way, and then take that to a completely unreasonable degree of justification for whatever position you happen to hold that nobody else around you agrees with. It doesn't matter if you're talking about Kaepernick or whatever. Like, you know, as far as I'm concerned, most of the people who have weighed in over the years about him, and I pretty much agree with everyone who I've seen. I think there's a lot of agreement on one side or the other about how you feel about what he did. Him taking a knee, right? And I think that's shifted to more understanding. The separate issue is whether he should be playing or not. And every year that goes by, the problem is that the people who never really, and not that I don't follow a lot of football, but I know something about the way the human body ages. And it's not like when he took the knee, you just get to put him up on a shelf like a G.I. Joe action figure, and then you could just pull his ass down whenever, the NFL is ready to be, to embrace all the ills of their past.
Sure.
And when white America just realizes that, maybe we have some issues in this country that we need to contend with that have nothing to do with the flag or the military. They're just real issues that everyone has to go through every day. I haven't said the Pledge of Allegiance since I was in school.
Right.
And I didn't say it full-throatedly then, necessarily, every day. Okay? I know you haven't either. So cut it out with all that rally round the flag stuff. There are obviously exceptions to that. But most of the people I know who feel strongly about patriotism and the flag and so forth are people who actually put their ass on the line to protect the rights of people to say whatever they want to say. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But that is separate from the guy can't just sit around. Not that he sat around or that he's not in shape or anything like that, but you just can't. You're going to get 7 years older no matter whether you take a knee or whether you're out there getting your head taken off every Sunday, right? And I didn't hear what Michael Irvin said. Michael Irvin hasn't always seemed like the most thoughtful opinion maker all the time, but he knows the game a lot better than I do.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So there's two different aspects to it, and some of the same thing goes with Queen Elizabeth. It's like, like I said, unless you're out there fighting for equal rights in your neighborhood every single day and fighting to educate children who might otherwise not know that things happen in European history or global history or especially American history, if you're an American, every day, and know that you can teach facts without making little white kids feel bad for being white, which is a bunch of,
It's so stupid.
Sorry.
That's dumb.
It can be done. Then get your meme off and keep it moving,
Go ahead.
Go back to talking about Kim's diarrhea, for the
but
next
it's gonna
week and
be
a half.
it's for y'all that's on that. It's always something that's trivial. Whatever, man. I could go for it. I could go on. Listen, let's get to the next topic. Which I'm gonna skip this topic a little bit, right? Yeah, Doug. Whatever. Steve Bannon is stupid. That's topic number 2.
We did it.
Moving on to the next. Yeah, like whatever. This is actually quite a stark contrast from where we just were, by the way. So I'm just going on to topic number 3. At this point.
It's all the theme of the day is donkeys, I think.
Yeah, basically. So, can y'all hear that in the background? Can you hear that?
Was it rain?
No.
Air conditioning?
For the last 10 episodes, my dog has decided that during this episode
thirsty?
is the time he's going to drink the most and the loudest. I think it's funny. It's hot. It's hot. But he goes in. He's going in. It's like, and I don't think y'all can hear it, so maybe it's not as funny to y'all as it is.
It's like, it sounds like Steve
It's been
Bannon
going
drinking
on.
toilet wine.
This is happening, yo. And we're all part of it. He's going to empty this bowl. All right, so let's skip on topic number 3, a little more comedic than what we've been talking about. So topic number 3 is the Shrek universe has taken an ugly turn. All right. Nigeria seizes donkey penises to be smuggled to Hong Kong. Source on this is AP News. Players involved. Kev, you're so stupid. Donkey dick. Literally no one else. By the way. Okay, Nigerian officials have seized thousands of donkey penises that were about to be exported to Hong Kong. An official said on Thursday. Sacks of donkey male genitalia were seized at the international airport of Lagos, Nigeria's largest city. The Nigerian Customs Service Area Command told reporters. So, the consignment was falsely declared as cow male genitalia. Dang, man, I can't even get. I got my joint cut off. Y'all can't even spell my name right. Right. But after due examination, export officers recognized that it was actually donkey dicks. A total of 16 sacks.
Like those little tags that you put on the baggage, it was just they wrote the wrong name on it.
An investigation has been launched to find out more information about the seized items. Although the seizure of donkey genitalia meant for the export from Nigeria is rare, donkey skins are known to be more frequently exported and smuggled out of the country. In July, Nigerian customs seized $116,000 worth of donkey skins being smuggled into the country of neighboring Niger. $116,000, by the way, folks, is less than the notorious MTG received in PPP loans.
Well, maybe it's close though.
It is close.
Maybe she talked him down.
She received more. She received more in PPP loans than the value of donkey skins.
Well, you know what she always says. She says, "Buy low and sell high."
There you go. Even as a human being. All right. So, yeah. What y'all want to know? What they smuggling the dicks for? Medicine is what they're used for. Popular traditional medicines. So that's what they're for.
What is this? This is not HuffPost, right? It's AP News.
It's AP News. AP News.
Because AP News, we see you, AP News. You think that we didn't notice that you used the word sax several times?
Multiple times. Yeah. Good
I'm
job.
Taking that. I take it personally.
I hate that you added Shrek into this.
Like,
Eddie Murphy, just dang, yo. Yo, speaking of a damn nature situation, Kev. Oh my God, let's hit him with a damn nature.
Damn nature.
Oh, all right. This was titled "Live from the Home of Rock." You know, rest in peace. Before we go in telling jokes about Philly or whatever a situation that happened in Philly, PNG Rock, what's his name? PNB. What was the name of the kid? PNB.
PNB. Yeah.
PNB. Was murdered. Was it today or yesterday?
I think it was today.
It was today. It was murdered in Los Angeles. A young rapper from Philly. So if you listen to the show and what have you, that you know, it's a sad day for that young man's family and those in the city of Philly that I don't know whether you loved him as an artist or not. You just don't want to see a young life taken over such petty things. But this did happen in Philly, so when we do tell some jokes, they're gonna be pointed at Philly. That's just how it goes. There it is. All right. The reason for this damn nature is a girl walks an emotional support alligator, Kev, on a leash in Philly Park. Live from the home of Rocky. Source from This Is HuffPost. Players involved are an emotional support alligator and a small girl. Kids trying to beat the heat in Philly got a glimpse of a little Gatorade.
HuffPost, baby.
HuffPost
still doing it.
Around.
Takes a lot of sack. HuffPost takes a lot of sack.
Little Gatorade on Friday, right? It is legal to own an alligator as a pet in Pennsylvania.
Why?
Many of you guys think, my listeners probably think Pennsylvania is mostly like Philly. It is not. It is not. Just so you're aware, it is not. But it's against state law to release one into the wild. The alligator's name, Wally, is a 7-year-old reptile, a TikTok star, and a licensed emotional support animal, according to social media accounts. Wally, who likes to be pet and reportedly loves to give hugs to your face with his mouth. I'm just kidding. Was adopted in 2016 by a reptile enthusiast. Joey Henney, who was undergoing cancer treatments, and has a GoFundMe page to help cover the cost of care for Wally and other scaly critters he looks after, right? So anyway, Kev, I'm gonna pass this one over to you, buddy.
I just thought this was a heartwarming story. You know what I mean? Now I couldn't tell from reading this if Joey is the yeah, I guess that's because I thought it was a little girl that was walking around the alligator. So I don't think it's I don't know if that's Joey, but good Lord, if you are fighting cancer and you want to walk around with an alligator, God bless you. You know what I mean?
Well,
do it.
It looks I don't know who the young lady is. The little girl is relative
and
to
she's
Joey
little too. That's the thing
Henney.
that's crazy.
Yeah. Tiny. Relative to walking around an alligator for sure.
You ever see somebody walk around a pit bull that you're like, you have no business doing that? Because if that dog decides that they want to go left, you are not going right.
No. I have a neighbor who has a giant husky. When I say giant, man, I mean giant. Like, this is Clifford, the husky version of Clifford, yo. And that man cannot control that damn dog, yo. Oof. So I don't walk my dog. I want to walk my dog in the cool of the morning. I can't because that's when he walks his dog. And get to one side of the park and he'll be on the other side chasing his dog who's basically decided that he don't want to be with him no more. And I'm like, dude, what happens when the alligator decides, like, you know what? I don't feel like it no more. I want to eat one of these kids on this playground. I'm done with this 7-year-old girl. I'm sick of it. You know what I mean?
Philadelphia is the Florida of the North. You had a good run, Philly. You had a good run, Philly.
You did it, yeah. I guess I love how people are like, why would it be, who probably were like, why would it be okay to have an alligator in Pennsylvania? I'm like, well, yeah, in Pennsylvania, sure. Right? Exactly.
Sure.
Everywhere else but this, like, the city in Pennsylvania is like that relative to the rest.
Wally, but Wally is still marginally more popular than Will Smith for the time being. So
currently, yes. Currently, yes. But what Wally would have done to Chris Rock is a lot different. To be fair.
Oh man.
Was the little girl playing Summertime or was she not? Because it's way better if she's listening to Summertime. While
I was
walking.
thinking it would be dope if she had a little Bluetooth speaker and she was rocking she had the Rocky theme playing.
Right when she hit the scene.
Man, I'd turn that thing into some emotional support shoes.
Right. Well, yeah. Hit another part of the country, and that's exactly what that gator is. That joint is emotional support shoes and belt.
Shoes and belt.
Yeah, exactly. Straight up. Possibly a hat brim. Like, you're not making it. Wally, you better stay in Pennsylvania because you start going a little further southeast and you're not gonna make it past Pensacola. How about that?
Oh man.
Man.
That was a heartwarming story. See, I was right.
That was stupid.
He said hug you with his mouth.
Yeah, on your head. And then swallowed you in small bits as he twists them off, violently.
Oh, man.
No, I'm sure they're peaceful creatures. Don't you love that, by the way? Like, oh, they're people. Okay, yes, I'm sure that they're not constantly bloodthirsty. Sure. Right?
No, they don't. They only say that after you eat somebody. I never would have expected it.
Right. Like, listen, yeah, dude, they're not. These aren't trained assassins that are like walking around waiting for beef. You know what I mean? They're not Crips. But the problem is when they decide to take your foot off, there's nothing you can do about it. I got like a little dog. If he wilds out, I'm like, man, it's just stupid. Right? I could thump this little dude. Like, literally. Right? But if I had an alligator, you know what I'm saying? It's a fight. Like, it's an actual battle. Like, he's not happy with what he ate. And he gonna let me know about it now. I got to deal with this problem. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference.
You're gonna pull out a belt on me? Said, no,
exactly.
I'm showing you your brother.
Right, exactly. This is what happened last. I don't want a pet that I have to draw a weapon on.
You're like a one-man ASPCA right there. You gotta love your dedication to nature.
I'm just saying, animal lovers don't get it.
You know what? Walk into a shelter and say those exact words and film it. I'd like down. To see. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down. Whatever. Because in the future, as we resurrect everything, somebody gonna be like, "Well, you're just why? What's wrong with velociraptors?" It's like, yo, what do you mean? It's like, yo, come on, man. We supposed to just be okay with rhinoceros? Fine, protect them in their habitat, but I ain't trying to be in the park with these fools. Like, what y'all think this is, man? We just supposed to be comfortable with everything in this joint? Like, nigga, that's a triceratops. Like, triceratops, man. Like, just in the house, bro? Like, we just doing that today. Like, for what? Oh, no, man. Whatever.
Dinosaurs never existed. Dinosaurs are fake.
That's true. That's true. Have you ever watched the Family Guy episode where they were going through, where they were watching TV edited for the South? Remember that? That was funny.
Oh, man.
If it was like the Big Bang Theory that was like, in the beginning, they was going to talk about the Big Bang Theory, and that joint just said, God. Oh, man.
Oh, man.
I'm going to shut this down, man. This show's been
awesome.
The show's
Got
been
some for everybody. Got your
definitely
royal
returning.
watchers. You got your animal lovers. Everyone's covered.
Yeah. I love how on this show we just get on and just start berating stupid people on our Facebook timeline. And y'all listen to it. Because it's really all this show is for me. It's just, I need an open platform, not where you can't respond back and I can call you stupid.
Do you think we need to temper or adjust our approach in some sort of way?
No, not at all. I love it. I'm fine with it.
Agreed.
And for those of y'all who think that I don't love animals because I don't want a full-on alligator in my house, y'all, shut up. just shut up. I think alligators should stay where I don't go to their house, and they don't go to my house.
Yeah. Yeah. He
Fine.
loves animals. He just hates wasting ammunition. Just get it straight.
Bottom line. I'm not going to house a rhinoceros for that fool to get mad at me. And now I'm running up the 10 freeway. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what did he do to the rhinoceros? Nothing. I commented about him drinking during the podcast. He looked at me, and the next thing I know, I'm running. If my dog did anything with my jokes right now, like I said, I just dump him. Don't get away from me. So, anyway. All right, y'all. Enough stupidity from me, not from Kev. I will be doing the rundown next week. This show will probably become less interesting as I take over. So, thank y'all for tuning in. We appreciate each and every one of y'all. Catch us on rapsucksradio.com for past episodes. Catch us on Instagram at rapsucksradio. And on Facebook, facebook.com/RSR podcast. I hope grudges, yo.
There's probably a lot of RIPs on that on that page.
Probably.
Yeah, a lot of heart emojis, broken heart emojis.
Right? Yo, I am your homeboy Trek Life. That dude over there is your fam Kev Sakota. On the count of 3, we say peace. 1, 2, 3. Peace. We out, y'all.